Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch.
And today we're watching episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is on Disney+.
Don't be confused. We never watched 2. I know we went from 1 and then 3. Our guest, Vivien, is not in 2 that
as much. Yeah.
So she wanted to do 3.
1 and 3 were the top options. When we gave her all of the episodes, we said, which ones do you want to do? And 1 and 3 were the ones she was most excited about. Mm-hmm. We might go back and do the other ones at some point.
With just me and you, though, without her?
Maybe.
Maybe with Ewan.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I can get him.
Okay.
I can't get him. I promise something I can't deliver on. Unlike you got us Cameron Crowe.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Definitely going to be on very soon.
For those of you who have not listened to this podcast before, we do audio commentaries on movies and TV shows with the people who worked on them who never got to do commentaries on them. We miss DVD commentaries. That's Brian and my whole thing in our life is that we miss DVDs and we miss DVD commentaries.
And my grandpa.
And special features. And you like your grandpa.
I miss him.
Yeah. I don't know him.
He was nice.
Was
a really
he?
nice guy. We can't bring him back, but we can bring commentaries back.
We want to talk to interesting, cool people who work on these projects who never get a chance to really dig into what they actually did on the movies or the TV shows. Obviously, you see an actor in something, you're like, I know what that person did. But if you do, what's a line producer do? People who don't work in the industry don't necessarily know that. Or even if you do work in the industry, but you never intersect with the set designer, let's chat with them about what actually goes into doing that for a movie.
That sounds like a great idea for a podcast.
I agree.
And it is.
And it is.
And it is.
And it is.
Now, how would you bring back my grandpa?
You want him physically back or electronically back or emotionally back?
I'll take electronically. I'm just going to go with that one.
Well,
if this is true as an adventure, that would be the most exciting story to follow. So
100%.
Electronically, bring him back.
Well, I think, say what you will about it, AI they're doing a lot of wonders with AI.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have home movies of him? You don't have any recordings of him?
I have a 2-minute thing where he gave a speech.
Okay. But that might be enough.
Yeah.
You could feed that into a computer and bring him back. Like, what's his name? Zola in Captain America the Winter Soldier,
or
when
like
his little head pops
Kim Kardashian's father when Kanye brought him back as a hologram. Do you think that she doesn't watch that anymore?
I forgot about that.
Do you think she doesn't watch it because the hologram of the dead father says Kanye's such a great guy? Do you think Kanye re-edited that for her when they broke up?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Do you think they gave them the equipment that they used to project him?
Yeah, I think she can do it in her backyard. I think whatever Kim wants, Kim gets.
Can you change the size of it, do you think?
Yeah.
So they could do like a Statue of Liberty sized Robert Kardashian
right.
in Calabasas?
And that's the plot of my new movie.
A hologram Robert Kardashian takes over Calabasas?
Mm-hmm.
The size of Godzilla?
I should have come up with a more...
Do you have a title?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the title. It's like the Englishman that came up a hill and went down a mountain. But I just panicked when Disney Plus gave me $4 million for the script. They said, but what's it called? We need to know.
Yeah.
And I just panicked and said what you just said, and that's what it's called. That's what it's called. I may go by the initials of it.
Which are?
I don't know. I don't know what you said.
You never listen to me.
And anyway, remember when Kanye did that for her? That was so nice. You've never done that for me.
No, I guess that's true. There's still time. We're on social media, and we've got a Patreon.
Yeah.
All of the links are down below. You can go check us out. If you join the Patreon, there's a lot of cool things that you can get ahead of time. You can find out who's going to be on the show. You can submit questions for us to ask people.
That's right.
You can watch the movie or TV show along with me beforehand, and we can chat about it. If that's how you want to submit questions, that's totally fine with me too. If you hit a certain tier, I will watch your favorite movie or TV show with
so
you.
Weird.
And we will release the episode as a Patreon exclusive.
What if you don't want to watch that movie? Like, what if it's a movie that's gross? Like, what if they want to watch something disgusting?
I mean, I guess I have.
Like Faces of Death, Volume 3. You're like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
I haven't seen the first two.
Yeah, you're going to be lost. Why is that monkey dying? Was he set up in the first one?
I guess I have power of approval.
Okay,
over it.
Within reason then.
I guess within reason.
Okay. And also they get first dibs on tickets to Hey That's Me-a-thon, our convention next year.
Yeah, where are we doing that?
Anaheim.
Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center?
Anaheim Convention Center. I've rented it out.
I mean, we want to do live shows eventually.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely do.
Yeah.
Look how funny I am. Looking at a place for an audience. Don't get me started.
Anyways, if you pull up Kenobi episode 3 right now on Disney Plus.
It's called Under the Mistletoe.
It's not called Under the Mistletoe.
Sorry. What's it called?
They should do a Christmas.
No, it's just called episode 3, I think.
It's just called episode 3.
chapter 3. I don't think it's episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you pull up Kenobi chapter 3 right now on Disney Plus,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna start it on the count of 3. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Great.
All right, we're back with Vivien
Yay.
and
Brian, Michael Lynch.
great. So let's wrap up these cliffhangers that we had.
Okay.
Let's talk about your what ifs.
Oh, yes. Wait. For a second there, we saw Ewan's daughter, who had a cameo in last
avoiding
episode.
the what ifs.
Trying to
You're
change the
avoiding
subject.
No,
it.
I know, but in last episode, Ewan's daughter
We did.
had a cameo, and
Yes.
that was fun.
Did you get to meet her?
I did. I got to meet some of his daughters.
Yeah.
And they were sweet. There was one who was like 2 years older than me at the
Mm-hmm.
time, and so we kind of hung out a little. And his youngest son was born during filming.
Oh wow.
He had to it was like a Friday night. They were trying to get scenes, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know if we're gonna keep you."
Yeah.
And then, that was one of the
Oh, look at
lines
that.
that I had to do in the audition, I think.
This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, episode 2 looks really cool. But I forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about your what if, and I'm not gonna let you avoid
No,
it any longer.
god damn it.
Wow. Whoa. What if Leia had a potty mouth? Is
Oh
mine.
god.
No. You were talking about Ewan's daughter, and you were close in
Yes.
age, so you were friends.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he had to go see
his
the birth.
Yes.
Yeah, his son. It was like a Friday night. They were trying to get scenes, and and they were like, "Oh, we might keep you, we might not, and like we have to get you and stuff, but also you're pumpkining, your time's almost up," and so we call it that because of Cinderella's carriage turning back into a pumpkin because it's like a certain amount of time I can work. So and so they were like kind of debating like whose scenes do we get because Ewan needs to go home, but also Vivien needs to go home. So then finally, Jeff, my wonderful second AD, who was also the second AD on Goodrich, which just
Oh
came out.
wow.
But Jeff's wonderful. We used to joke that Jeff, though, he wore this red hat and had this iPad, so you could always see him coming. And whenever he came to talk to Mom, it was always so we're going to need her to come in on Saturday. So it's like you have to hide from the red hat whenever you see Jeff coming. If he can't catch us, he can't make us come in tomorrow. But yeah, Jeff came and he was like, yeah, we're letting you go. Ewan just went because his son's being born right now.
Wow.
His wife's in labor, so like he's not gonna stay to film anymore. And so, yeah, I remember that day was a thing. Yeah.
Oh, so what about your what if?
Um,
Should I go first?
Yeah, why don't you go
Yeah,
first?
you
Why?
go first.
I was gonna say, what if Chewbacca had more hair? But that one doesn't work. So, as someone who hasn't seen a lot of Star Wars, I think I would love to see what happened if Boba Fett did survive the Sarlacc pit.
Brian.
What?
Oh, Brian, he did survive.
Get out of here!
He comes out of the pit.
I have a lot to learn.
Oh my gosh, Brian.
Have you not seen the Book of Boba Fett?
I'm unfamiliar with Star Wars as a concept. No, I've seen all of it. I love Star Wars. No, did you see Book of Boba Fett?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, I love Star Wars.
He
I've
comes
seen
out,
it.
Brian. He pops out, and guess what? He's good now.
That's the thing.
Wait, did he have some time to think
Oh
about
my
it?
god,
Thought
wait,
about
I
it a lot.
just found something out the other day.
Okay.
That scene actually is it calls back to a comedy show called Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
it was
Patton.
such a funny thing.
Yeah.
Where he describes his idea for Boba Fett being alive, and it's literally shot by shot what they actually did.
So
for
we should
Book
put
of Boba Fett.
what we're saying is we should also put into the world what we want in Star Wars, and they will
Yeah.
do that too.
can't do
Okay, I've got one. I've got one.
Okay.
So what if
Here we go.
Han Solo was the one with all the hair instead of Chewbacca?
Great answer.
I'm
Great answer.
assuming Kylo wouldn't be a thing.
No, definitely not. Great answer.
And what
I love
if
it.
Chewbacca had the haircut and the clothes, and then he was the one who flew the Millennium
I love
Falcon
this.
instead?
I love it. So then, who does Leia like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is Leia
Well,
only?
she's not just into Han because of his looks.
I think she likes the vest. I think that's why they get married.
So then, would she be into Chewbacca?
That's what I'm
Chewbacca
asking.
has the
That's the
vest?
huge question.
Or would Chewbacca be into her? We don't know.
Great question.
don't
Well, I
know.
mean, look, there's only one Princess Leia in front of me right now.
Yeah.
So if Chewbacca had the vest and the hair, do you think she
Oh.
would be into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the best.
Okay.
I think the
Great.
best is
The
I
Thing.
think the best is The Thing.
That's
I
the
think
thing.
the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a what if Teen Leia? Just have it in Teen Leia
Yeah,
adventures.
that's like honestly, in all seriousness, what I'm hoping for, because like I
awesome.
really want to see like what a teenage Leia would look like and what kind of, and exploring that story. So I really hope we get something like that.
Yeah, I would love that. I also want more. I want an action figure too.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gotta get an action figure.
I remember
they make Star Wars action figures?
being
They
so being so frustrated when I went to our local Target and they got Obi-Wan dolls and they gave Lola to the Obi-Wan figure and then
yes.
didn't give me a figure.
I know,
I
we
was
need-
like, "Are you for
We-
real?"
We do. Need
I don't
a Leia
even
figure.
get what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? And so I've got like so many custom made figures
That's cool.
that people
Sure.
give me at like cons, which is nice.
Were you around at all for? Oh, you were with Vader because he's in the village that you guys go to, right?
In this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like? Because that's wild.
Vader, I think in this one was a body double.
Oh, this is your first appearance on this episode, right? So you can.
Hey,
say it
that's
again.
me.
There you go.
Yeah. That was this was a nice one. I was going to pretend to be asleep and then they had a double do it, so
Oh.
I didn't get to sleep. But
Oh,
yeah.
Darth Vader was a body double. It wasn't Ewan or
Yeah,
it wasn't
Hayden.
Hayden.
no,
Wow.
they had a body double. I don't think I ever really got to talk to the body double much. I did get to talk to the body double for Ned B, who I think appears in maybe either this episode or the next one.
I love him.
And his name was Dustin, and he was nice. He was like so tall. He was like 7 feet tall. That's wild. He didn't have a ton of like stilts on Ned B. He was just that tall.
We had a 7-foot guest on this show, sitting in the very same couch you're sitting on.
It's true. We had a guy who
Yeah.
played the Predator,
in the last
Oh,
Predator.
and he
Wow.
is very tall. Drink of water.
And the picture of all three of us together is hilarious because Patrick looks like he's 3 feet tall.
I look like
Yeah.
a tiny little baby.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do everyone's favorite non-Leia character.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Non-Leia character. It has to be R2D2.
Mine too, easily.
wow.
Easily
Yep.
R2.
Favorite non-Leia character.
Okay,
You
I
know
gotta
who your
say
answer
though, my favorite droid is actually in this show. He was
Okay.
in episode 2. His name is R4DT, and he's an R4 droid who's all white with like spray paint all over him.
Oh, cool.
He appears in the night market, and he was my best friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went and I saw him between takes like all the time. We were like, I always went and saw him at the props department. The props department was lovely, and they were so fun. Yeah, there's Ned B. That was Dustin, and he was really that
He's
tall.
so big.
Yeah, he was really that tall. But yeah, I remember this scene. This was a fun one. But I always loved the droids, and I would always go see them and hug them. But R4D2 was my favorite. I just thought he looked really cool, and so I would go and hang out with him. And so at the wrapping, he became like such a thing, and they had to keep him around because I loved him so much.
I love that.
And so
That's
they
great.
just like kept him around, and
They brought him to Simi Valley. They brought him everywhere.
no,
He
yeah,
was
they
in
brought him
Goodrich.
everywhere, and yeah. No, actually, I just did the prop awards. I presented there,
Oh, that's cool.
and they had R4 present with me.
That's
they
amazing.
had they
Oh,
had the
that's
guy come and bring him, and he had like the little tray, and he
Oh, I love
presented
that.
with me, and so yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah, this was Simi Valley.
I was gonna say, so you have to be pretty hot too, because
Oh
that
yeah,
jacket is
oh
not
yeah,
nothing.
it was really hot
Yeah.
up there. And we had to do like this long walk for like so many takes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't get how this didn't get discovered by people,
Yeah.
hikers, and like or helicopters.
Well, I think if you
Yeah.
shoot so far out,
I guess.
I think that's just how you do
There's
it. It's
literally
like,
stormtroopers and an Empire
Yeah.
banner, though. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, we shot so far out.
well, I think it was
Hayden
like,
was in this scene, but I actually didn't get to see him because again, they I guess didn't want us in the same set.
yeah.
So they filmed this after I had already wrapped. They
Oh,
filmed the
wow.
stuff with Hayden,
Interesting.
so that I went home. But at least I got to go home. And
When you're
it was hot.
filming, since you only have so many hours in the day, do you feel like they're like, okay, we got to just shoot her out. We got to
Yes.
just,
Yeah,
that's what it feels like all
definitely.
the time.
all the time. But yeah, they kept around and they made little pins of R4DT for
I love that.
everybody as a wrap gift. It was super sweet.
That's great.
But yeah, that was the day of the rattlesnake.
Oh wow.
So you shoot a lot of stuff on like the volume, obviously.
Yes.
But then there's also a lot of stuff outside in this show.
Yeah.
What?
Some of it was volume, some of it was actual. Our main locations were so MBS, the studio with the volume and stuff, and then Lake Arrowhead, Simi Valley, and then the one with the tank.
The tank,
which I think is this studio.
What do you like about?
They had some of these built in the main studio, but this might have been main studio. But the stuff in the actual tank, they had the other studio. So those were like our main locations.
What is the hardest thing about shooting on the volume?
I think probably if you have to run off into the distance, which I had to do in one scene, because basically what you do is distracting. But yeah, what you have to do is you have to like run towards the volume, and then you have to like duck down like right behind the stage at the last minute, and it's like such a weird little thing, and then you have to wait there for all the other dialogue to be over. So that was like kind of awkward. So that was probably like the hardest thing. But yeah, it was kind of funny because Sung Kang was in this, and he was also in We Can Be Heroes with me. So this was like the second time I'd worked with him. I didn't even know he was in this. I was just like, oh, hi.
Do you know his character's name in the Fast and the Furious franchise?
Yes, actually. My dad is just now, like, recently making me watch the whole Fast and Furious franchise with him. It's a rite of passage.
What's his name?
Seems Han.
What's his last name?
Oh, I don't know.
On his driver's license, Han Solo.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
That's amazing.
Yep.
I did not.
Wow.
Is your dad
either.
making you watch it in a weird order?
No,
Because they all
just
jump
in
all over the place.
regular order.
Yeah.
He made me he watched them backwards, so he watched like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then he's making me watch them forwards. 1, 2, 3. We're like halfway through 4 right now, so I can't take them in full intervals.
Sure.
So we like watch half of 4, and then we wait like 2 weeks and then watch the other half.
You're
of
getting
4.
to the series peak, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
5 and 6 and 7 are. my
Yeah, we're
favorites.
getting there.
Yeah. Do you like filming on location more or on a set?
Well, I didn't love this location because of all the, the heat and the rattlesnakes.
rattlesnakes.
So, I probably preferred the studio, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was nice, and it was most of the whole thing. So like, this was the scene that we were filming when the rattlesnake was here.
Oh, wow.
So it was us, and then basically, if you can think, where we are right now, there was the camera. Then right behind the camera was like the vans with like the director's van, because the directors were too fancy to be able to sit outside in the heat. So they had their vans, and they set up like Video Village in the vans. They like hooked monitors up to the back of the seats so that they would sit in the vans and watch. And then literally like under that van, when we were walking through like the wheat or whatever it is, they would put, there was the snake under that director's van right there. So we would literally have been looking right at the snake.
Oh my god.
This is one of my favorite young Leia moments, is when she just takes over the rescue, basically.
Yes.
She's like, I'm going to flag this guy
Yeah,
down.
this was fun.
I love it.
Freck.
I love it.
What a guy.
Freck is great.
Yeah, Freck was great. It was such an interesting like mask, because like he had like full gear on beneath the mask. Well, actually, there was the guy who was wearing the mask, and then there was Zach who was playing the character.
Was Zach there?
Yes, Zach was there.
So strange.
That's the weird thing. So the guy was like in the full suit, and he was sitting there and like moving his mouth and stuff. Yeah. And then Zach was at cast chairs, and he had like this weird headgear stuff on, which was like motion capture. Crazy. It was so strange. I don't know exactly how they did it, but I guess it made the mask sync up with his words as he was talking.
That's great. We're at that point. That's so neat. Also, if you were Zach Braff, they said, do you want to come?
Oh, here's the chickpea scene. This is the chickpeas.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I found like little green spiky berries, and I'm eating these. So, yeah, this was a fun scene. So, the truck they actually had, it was obviously not floating, but it was a truck.
What? This is over.
It was a truck. Yes, there were stormtroopers. I think one of those stormtroopers is Amy, the one who played the green,
green
girl.
How exciting is this to do a scene
with Flea.
against stormtroopers?
Yeah,
With
that was
Obi-Wan
fun.
Kenobi and
With
stormtroopers.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, yeah.
Yeah.
And Freck.
Yes, and
No,
Freck.
it's amazing.
No,
It's
this
amazing.
was a fun one. I think we filmed this a little bit later too. So it wasn't as hot. So this was
Okay.
nice. But yeah, we basically how they made the little berries was they were like little wooden spiky shells that were painted green, and then inside that was a little wax mold that I loved playing with. It was so fun. And then inside that were 2 purple painted chickpeas.
Oh,
They were
wow.
like dyed purple
Yeah,
chickpeas,
yeah.
and I really liked them
Yeah.
because I really enjoyed chickpeas because they were part of like my favorite meal, which is like a bowl from this one place that I really like, and it had chickpeas in it. So I really like chickpeas. So that was like the one thing they could get me to eat. So
Did
they
they
were very
know
happy
that?
about
Did
that.
you tell them that?
Yes.
Okay.
And that made them very happy that I ate something. So I have to eat one. So they cut it out, which is sad, but I have to eat one. And then I had to offer one to him. Then he says no, and I eat that one
Sure.
too.
Yeah.
So I ate the first one, and then in one take, I eat the first one, and I just get so caught up in liking the chickpeas that I forget to offer him one. So then I just eat the second one too, and then he just stares at me and starts laughing hysterically. And then I realize what's happening and start laughing hysterically too. And then Deborah calls cut, and she starts laughing really hard.
Oh, that's
And
great.
it's like a whole thing, and everybody was laughing really hard. And then they I think that was like one of the last shots of the day, so that was like a fun one. And then I actually got the take, and I think right after that I did like really, really good at the take, and then everybody was like, that was the day where people really realized that I was a really good actor.
That's great.
So it was so funny that was like the take that happened literally right after forgetting to offer him a chickpea.
Right after you messed up.
Yeah,
Then
right
people
after
are
I
like,
messed
"Oh, wait,
up
she's
with
good."
a chickpea. Yeah.
That's amazing. What do you want to do anything behind the scenes ever? Like, would you ever want to write or direct or anything?
I definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to direct someday. That's what I want to do. But I also really like writing.
Yeah.
So probably both.
What kind of stuff do you like to write?
I'm working on a novel right now.
Wow.
It's like a fantasy story.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I read
writing
an
fantasy.
interview you were talking about. What was it? Was it for Boogeyman?
Yeah.
That you were like journaling as the character?
Yes, yeah. I
Yeah.
like doing that. I did that for Boogeyman. Basically, I just wanted to kind of expand on things, and the director was so sweet. He really enjoyed my writing, and he like wanted to help bring it to life. So basically what I wrote is just like a few extra scenes as like what happened before the events of the movie, and things like, well, Sawyer noticed the guy outside before anybody else did, and she writes about it in her journal and kind of just like talks about stuff that happens at school, and like, you know, she talks about these headphones that she has. And Rob was actually really sweet, the director. After I talked about the headphones in the journal, he read my journal and then he gave it to the sec deck guy, so you can see in that one scene where I roll the ball down the hallway.
Oh, wow.
And the guy and the boogeyman steps on it, there's actually red headphones on a
Oh,
little
that's amazing.
table next to it, and only certain people like can, if they know that Easter egg, can
Yeah.
understand that that's actually from my journal, was a thing that I talked about, these red headphones that I had gotten.
That's very cool.
Someone's going
And-
to take that journal and do a prequel movie and not tell you.
Yes, yeah.
Boogeyman
Boy.
Origins.
Yeah. And then I also, like, a year later wrote like a little mini epilogue, which
Yeah.
was sweet, and it was just like stuff based on my life that had happened after the events of filming, and so it's kind of like showing after the events of Boogeyman
That's
what
amazing.
happened.
We talked about in the last one how Flea gets into character.
Yeah.
What do you use besides journaling?
Well,
Is there
I use
anything
the
that you
journaling,
do?
and then like I said in the last episode, I do colors instead of animals.
Yes.
I choose colors. Sawyer was dark green. Ellen from Fatal Attraction was light blue, because that's what I did like right after that, like a sky blue. And I basically choose that, and then it's like an aura thing. So then I kind of imagine my aura, and then I like take that on, and I, kind of, bring that aura color around me. And I actually learned that on the set because they had me work with like an acting coach who we called an acting therapist, because she was more like, she taught me how to get into character while still staying healthy, and she just taught me little things like she basically said, I'll hide pennies all around here. You look for them and you find them. And then you come back into the room, I'll re-hide them in the same spot, and you pretend you're finding them for the first time. And you act like you are. And you have to, and then so I would kind of have to remember exactly what I did. Like, oh, I went here first, and then I went over here, and then I grabbed this, and then it's kind of like you have to act like you are seeing them for the first time. But yeah, her name is Sammy, and she was great.
That's amazing. Was this droid here, or was he CG?
No, they had a giant cardboard cutout that the prop guys like very badly drew a version of that on, and then it was CG.
And made Zach Braff hold it.
yeah. But they just had like a prop guy like holding up a giant like cardboard guy on a popsicle stick with like a very crudely drawn.
But that's
sketch.
Movies. That's how you make movies.
That's one of the best stormtrooper deaths, by the way.
When he gets cut in half.
It was so gross. I was like, that you couldn't do CGI. That had to actually happen.
You actually cut that guy in half.
Poor guy. This show's dedicated to him.
So that
was Amy, I think, holding the gun to my head.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah.
Did Freck pass? Did he get shot?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You did?
Yeah,
he
he did.
Get Freck.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
This was so funny. He tries to fix it and then he just shoots it.
Where's my Freck action figure too?
I know.
Come on,
Justice
guys.
for Freck. Hashtag justice for Freck.
Guys, if there's one takeaway from this episode,
hashtag justice for Freck.
we want the
want
Imperial sympathizer. Justice for the Imperial sympathizer.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to hear more about him in my spec script, Freck, a Star Wars story.
Yes.
It's all about how he got where he was.
Freck, a spec script.
Here she is.
She's amazing.
Let's talk about.
Yeah, Indira's great. She was wonderful.
And she looks great in this outfit.
Yeah.
But like she like really like has the Imperial look with this outfit.
No,
And it's rare that you
does.
see a female Imperial officer. Like it doesn't happen that often. So it's
Patrick, you're always trying to keep the female Imperial officers down.
I really am. I just don't want any Imperial officers.
That's
Brian,
true.
You
Well, I
know?
have good news for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mapuzo. That was the name of the planet.
If you would you ever want to wear prosthetics or makeup like this? Like, do you think that would be?
I could.
Yeah.
I could do that
Yeah.
if I wanted to. I'm dressing up as tree nymph for Halloween this
that's
year,
cool.
and I did like the full makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
What is a project or a type of movie or TV show that you would want to make? Like, is there some kind of genre that you haven't been in?
No, I've always really enjoyed like sci-fi and horror, which is the main stuff I act in. So I'd kind of love to do like a musical one day, though. That could be fun.
Wow, that's cool.
Or like just a comedy, because I for some reason never get to do those. But Goodrich was fun. Goodrich was like a family comedy, so that was fun to do. But yeah, I mean, sci-fi is always fun. Sci-fi and horror.
How was Michael Keaton? Let's talk about Michael Keaton.
He was great.
Yeah,
he was wonderful. He was so silly because I'm very picky about the types of water that I like. Yeah.
We have a very
What is the
special
water
one.
you're drinking today? The
Sedona.
Sedona.
Okay.
If it's not in a glass bottle, it's usually not very good.
I recently did a recording with an actor who only drank out of a glass bottle.
Wow.
Of water, and very nice guy.
Yeah.
But that was his one thing.
Wow.
he wanted,
Yeah, it's a thing. But I remember telling Michael about it one day, and then we did the premiere the other day, and he was like, "Listen, you have to tell my brother and my son what the best kinds of water are, because I forgot, and you have to tell them."
That's amazing.
If you're interested, it's Voss, Aquapana, Sedona, Fiji, and what's the last one?
Good old fashioned tap.
Yeah, good old fashioned tap, honestly. Yeah, it's the best. The ones you want to avoid
Yes. Here we go.
are
Avion.
Avion's okay,
like
but I like their like facial spray that they do. It's like a water face spray.
Guys, it's probably the same water.
Yeah,
I hate to tell you.
Huh?
yeah. Dasani,
Okay.
not good.
Not good.
Don't do Dasani. Like Pure Life, those like cheap purified ones. No, no. Like Pure Life, those kinds of ones. Like Arrowhead is,
Yeah. You like the lake. You don't like the water,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Because didn't you shoot it like Arrowhead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
All right,
water
well,
is
it's
not
time for
that
our
good.
sponsor. Arrowhead has been America's number one.
If you asked me this morning if I thought we would talk about what brands of water were good
You'd
and
say
bad,
yes.
I would have said absolutely no.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that we did.
Yeah.
Patrick, you never said your favorite Star Wars character.
You're right. It's Ponda Baba, the guy in the cantina who gets his arm cut off by Obi-Wan, the walrus guy.
Why
yes.
is that your favorite?
Yeah.
I just like his look. I think he's got a good jacket.
It's not Freck.
Freck is up there.
Freck's up there. Freck.
Justice for Freck.
Justice for Freck.
Hashtag justice
You know
for
what?
Freck.
You're right. I'm gonna throw away my whole personality. My new favorite character is Freck.
Do you think he has a shirt? Do you think there's a T-shirt on StarWars.com, like
Freck?
the store? Yeah. Do you think Freck?
Let's look it up.
All right,
Do you
give
have a
me a
phone?
If not, I'm making one. And it's
think-
going to say hashtag justice for Freck.
Do you think any kid this year is going as Freck for Halloween?
If they're not, that's a serious crime. It's a travesty.
I mean, here's what I'll say. We don't have any merch for this show as of now.
No.
I think we may have to make a Justice for Freck
Yes,
shirt. I
absolutely.
think that might be.
Hashtag
to pay.
justice for
Freck is not on a shirt, you guys.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
terrible.
We'll work on it.
He
Yeah.
was an Imperial sympathizer.
I know. I'm
Guys.
aware. We'll write that on the back. Hashtag Justice for Freck on the back. He was an Imperial sympathizer, you guys.
No, yeah, we just got to we got to make T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Hashtag justice for Freck.
It's funny. There are Star Wars T-shirts, though. I had no idea.
Oh,
that
you
was
had
a
no
thing,
idea?
like merchandise and stuff.
Brian doesn't really get it. He doesn't get.
How have
Star Wars.
I swear to God, I feel like I've seen 4 different people wearing Star Wars shirts on a daily basis.
Huh?
What do you mean? You
Huh?
don't know their Star Wars shirts.
Agree to disagree.
Maybe it's just the people I hang out
Maybe.
with, but
You're hanging out with weirdos. Brian hangs out with normal people.
There's
Vivian.
Babu Frick T-shirts.
I have that shirt.
Oh, that's nothing to
I
brag
do
about,
have
but
that shirt.
There's
Okay.
a lot of Babu Frick
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Uh,
Oh boy, guys.
There's a Star Trek shirt.
Star
Brian
Trek
is
shirt
showing
in the
us.
Star Wars font.
that's terrible.
Vivian,
Would you do Star Trek if they wanted you? Young
Yes.
Kirk. You're young Kirk. Would you do it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think I got an audition for Star Trek
Oh,
once.
really?
Or like a
Okay.
spin-off, maybe.
Is there a franchise that you would love to jump into that you haven't yet?
I want to be Harley Quinn one day.
wow.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, the hair.
Yeah.
You've got Harley-esque hair
I
at the
do.
moment.
Yeah. It was pink not too long ago.
Yeah. Yes, it was pink the last time I saw you, which we should plug. The Great Camino Caper, the Attack of the
Yes,
Clones
yeah,
live
yeah.
read that you were fantastic
You were
in.
so funny in that.
Yeah, that was
Fantastic.
fun.
You're so good in it.
I was not asked to be in it.
Nope.
That's cool.
Nope.
It's fine. I'm glad
And
No
you
hard
guys had a-
feelings.
He
had a good
never
time.
will be.
If you do this show, can I play Freck?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
When we get to the Kenobi live read, you can actually play Leia. Vivian can play Freck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vivian, let's talk about conventions because you do a lot of conventions.
Yes. Yeah.
What has been your favorite convention experience, and have there been any funny fan interactions that you remember?
That's a tough one. I mean, a lot of conventions have been really fun. It's cool to go the places they take me, and doing conventions in England or Germany and getting to go there. I actually met a girl in Germany who I still talk to on WhatsApp sometimes. She's
That's cool.
very nice. Her
Yeah.
name's Imola. but yeah, there are just some things like that that are nice. I got to go to Denver, and I got to go to Meow Wolf in Denver,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I went to in New Mexico when I was young. But no, when I was really little, 5 or 6,
Uh-huh.
and I got to go to that one, and then I hadn't been since, and I really wanted to go again, so I got to go to the one in Denver. And
That's
it was
very
super
cool.
fun. Maybe for my 13th birthday, I kind of want to go to the one in Vegas with some friends.
Uh-huh.
So I might do that.
That's very cool. Have you ever been to Vegas?
No, but my mom has, and I keep trying to convince her to take me. And
Wow.
because she works at a poker company, so she gets to go every year, and she won't take me.
What do you want to see in Vegas, Vivian?
Meow Wolf. I want to go to Vegas Meow Wolf,
Okay.
and I also want to go to the Sugar Factory, and I want to go to Circus Circus.
How about the dome, the sphere?
Oh yeah,
That'd be fun.
my mom hates Vegas, but my dad likes it. So my dad's like, I'll take you. So I'm gonna go with my dad and some friends.
That's good.
For my 13th birthday.
That's good.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Your dad has bad taste in what order to watch Star
That
Wars
is
in.
absolutely correct in the order you're supposed to watch them.
Yeah. And my dad's showing me Fast and Furious too. He has
That's
very
true.
strong opinions about the
Sure.
order of movies.
Is your dad really passionate about Fast and the Furious?
No, he's really passionate about watching bad movies with me and
Oh, that's
making
great.
fun of them,
That's
which
fun,
is
though.
super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom hates it though. She's like, "You're discounting all the hard work that's been put into these movies." She's a goody two shoes. She doesn't like making fun of people, but me and Dad think it's hilarious.
Can I tell Fast and the Furious?
Of course you
Sorry.
Yes.
I was showing up to the Universal a lot to record a voice for one of the movies I work on, and they said, "Oh, you're here, you're here." And when I got to the building, I'm like, "I didn't know I was important." Okay, and they go, come this way," and they ushered me in and they sat me down in an editing bed. And I go, "What is going on right now?" And they said, "You are not the spare editor for the new Fast and Furious movie." And I go, "No." And they go, "Oh, we have like 4 or 5 of them right now. We thought you were the new guy today."
Wow.
They had, because they were really coming down to the wire. They needed 5.
You should have just done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just edit
Put
it.
shots of me and Freck.
Yeah. Just randomly catch a shots of Freck.
Yeah.
Which would have been years before Freck came out.
Yes.
So I could have owned him
You could have
Yeah.
been the Freck guy.
from the minds that brought you Freck.
Yeah.
We have to pay off another cliffhanger.
Okay.
Do you and Grant go to conventions a lot? Grant, who played Luke.
No, actually, I don't think I've ever seen him at a convention.
Wow.
I was booked to see him at Rebel Scum, which was a convention
Is that in Texas?
in Texas.
Yeah.
But I got COVID, and
Oh,
so I
wow.
couldn't go, and so I
That's
couldn't
so
go
interesting.
because I got COVID, so I didn't get to see Grant there.
It feels like they would book you together. You know what I mean? Like, just
Sure.
because you're on the show together, brother and sister, like, it feels like it
It's
would
kind
make
of
sense
funny
to do that.
because my best friend Bella, her little brother,
Uh-huh.
both of them are actors, and her little brother was in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie with Grant.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually got to meet too, and so like Lucas is kind of debating doing conventions or something with Grant, and that would be funny because then both of us have reasons to go to conventions
Yeah.
with him. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's so funny because Bella's little brother was like he was Garrett in Five Nights at Freddy's. He was the little brother that got kidnapped and
he's the one
killed.
that sets
Yeah,
off
he
the
was.
whole movie.
He was the one in the back of the car, and then Grant was one of the spirits, and so they got to like meet and hang out, and his older sister is like best friends with me.
It's such a weird small world.
Yeah.
Like, there's so
definitely.
many actors out there, but like the connections that people have is always very interesting.
Yeah.
This scene is so
It's funny,
cool.
we're talking about little kids while he's just going around killing people
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
the, on
yeah,
the
yeah.
screen. This is a harsh scene.
It really
Very
is.
horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he snaps the guy's neck over.
As a kid?
Oh, it's a kid. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
The guy runs
yeah.
out and yells for his dad.
Yeah.
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 He wouldn't have been a good father to Princess Leia and
That's probably
Luke
true.
if he was raising them. He's got some problems, guys.
But what if?
But what if?
he-
But what if they made him better? What if they made him
that's
grow
true.
as a person
Mm.
and he became a better person?
Brian doesn't believe in that.
I don't believe in redemption. No, yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't believe in
Sure.
personal growth.
Oh, everyone stays the same.
Yeah. Everyone stays the same from birth to death.
They made a Lego set of this, you guys, of this
They
fight.
did.
Uh-huh.
They did.
Were you a Lego minifig?
I wasn't until very recently.
All right,
They
cool.
included me in like a 25th anniversary set or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's
it was,
exciting.
and it was a bunch of droids, and they included me with a bunch of droids because I'm
is-
like known.
You
for
were
my
in the
love
Droid
of
Factory
droids.
set?
Yes, I was.
Cool.
Where you
which
can
is
get
so fun.
you can get a chopper droid
Oh,
and
yeah?
put Dave Filoni's cowboy hat on
That's
top of it.
amazing.
It's
But it
amazing.
was so fun because like I'm always seen with droids at cons and stuff, and I always talking about it. So they put me with all the droids, which
Yeah.
I thought was so sweet.
I hope they sent you one. 'Cause-
They did, yeah.
Okay,
They
great,
sent me
great,
one.
Great.
Yeah.
Why
That's
do
fun.
you think you like droids so much? Why do you think
I don't
that's
know.
the
I've
thing?
just always had a weird like love
Yeah.
of robots.
You also like
I'm
animals
going to be.
too.
I've decided that my idea is if I'm nice to the robots now, when they take over the world,
Sure.
then I'm going to be allied with them. I'm going to become queen of the AI when they take over the world. That's my goal in life.
Well, I gotta figure if the robots and AI are analyzing all the stuff out there,
Yeah.
you're very nice to robots in this. in this
Exactly.
show. You'd be
That's the
great.
thing. If I'm very nice to robots and droids now,
Uh-huh.
then they'll understand
queen.
that I'm an ally when they take over.
And Flea is in big trouble because he.
No, I have like a huge collection of them, and I take care of them, and
Yeah.
I teach them, and I advance their AI.
Oh my god,
You've got it all planned out.
I do. I have it all planned.
I like
out.
this guy.
Yeah, Ned B's fun.
Mm.
But yeah, I've always loved robots. I remember I used to go to Universal, and I would always the big guys in the Transformer suits.
Oh yeah.
When I was like 2
They're
years
so
old, I
funny.
would always go see them.
Yeah.
I think I kissed Bumblebee on the cheek once.
Wow.
That
which
was you?
Very sweet.
They still talk
talks
about you there.
Well, he sings about it.
He sings about
He
it.
plays songs about it.
Yeah, when I was like 2 years old, and it was so sweet. I was scared of Megatron for a long time though. I was like, I don't want to
Sure.
talk to that one. And then recently I was like, okay, I'll talk to that one.
Well, he's also like an insult comic now. The Megatron guy insults the people that come up. It's horrible
It's
and
fun.
mean.
How was working with Moses? Was she intimidating?
No, she was great.
She was
Moses
great.
sweet.
Yeah.
I was probably more intimidating to her because she had like one of those weird, strange fears of styrofoam, and they built a giant styrofoam cave, and I would just like play with the styrofoam to mess with her, and so I think she was more scared of me than I was supposed to be of her.
Does she not like the sound, or
I
why
think
does
so. I
oh,
think she didn't
interesting.
like the
Yeah,
sound,
yeah,
the squeaking sound of the styrofoam.
Yeah.
So I would just like squeak the edge of the cave, and she would just like run away, be like, "Stop it!" So I think she was more scared of me than I was.
They should have worked that into the movie or
Yeah.
the show. That's how she defeated her.
That's so funny.
If you could pick a lightsaber color for
This cave.
what
This
would
was
you-
the styrofoam cave. This was the styrofoam cave.
This is, you have to chase her in here to trick her to come in. So your favorite lightsaber color?
Lightsaber color, purple.
Nice.
Because my favorite color is purple.
Okay.
You can see it in my hair. Has to be purple.
And Leia's aura was purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was Leia's lightsaber in Rise of Skywalker? What color?
Blue.
Was it blue?
Is it blue?
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you would know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, I remember this because at the end of this episode right here, there's gonna be a dead guy.
Oh no.
And he's like a pilot that was supposed to pick me up, but Reva killed to kidnap me, and that was actually played by the prop master Brad Elliott, who I really like. Brad's super sweet. He built a ton of the droids, and he like let me hang out with them and stuff, and he was super sweet. Jamie too. She was like the key props person, and she would give me like credits so I could go around the night market and buy stuff. Like it was my mom's birthday on set, and I bought her like a giant space flower as like a birthday gift. Her birthday's right around Mother's Day too, so it counted for both.
Yeah. It's very
but
convenient.
yeah, hers is May 14th, so it's always like right around Mother's Day.
Yeah. And almost May the 4th.
Yeah,
Very
but
close.
The three most important holidays.
yeah. But yeah, I always I would do that. So I was always real close with the props department, and so Brad, he actually had to pretend to be dead here, and they linger on his face for like too long, and so he had to not blink for the longest time, and he had to keep practicing, and he kept messing it up.
He should do conventions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He should be like,
Yeah,
I
he's
was the
great.
dead guy. I was the dead pilot. Now, look, we're not going to get you in trouble. Did you take anything from set?
Oh yeah.
No hesitation.
What did you
I
get?
took all the night market stuff because props had it, so
Sure.
they let me keep it.
Yeah.
You know, and then like the extras would be so confused, and they'd be like, "Just let her take it. Don't worry about it." And then yeah, and so I got to keep some of the prop stuff, and then I accidentally stole Bomba's socks from from the costume, and then I also took the little white tights at the end of the
Nice.
series.
Yeah.
I accidentally took those too.
Accidentally.
But yeah, I did get to keep some
Cool.
stuff, so that was fun. I do have to talk about my birthday though before we
let's
end,
do it.
because I had my birthday on set too, because my birthday is June 4th, so I had my birthday not too long after Mom's, and so they made like a whole birthday celebration for me. So my doubles and my set teacher completely decked out my room, like my little dressing room, and they filled it with confetti and balloons and signs that said happy birthday and like stickers and stuff. And then everybody on set made me a giant card that said like happy birthday Rebel Princess or something, and it had a little like Princess Leia on it, and everybody signed it with like a sweet little message. They all sang happy birthday to me when I came on set, and then my favorite was they took me to like a little backstage, and all the props masters and the extras had set up like a little birthday celebration, and so there was a little cake place down the street I really liked. So my costumer was involved in this too, because she knew that I really liked the little cake place down the street. It was a bundt cake place. It was called Nothing Bundt Cakes.
Sure.
And it's really great. And it was just right down the street from the studio, and I really liked their red velvet cake. So she like told me like, oh, we just need to try something on in the other room. So she took me to the other studio, and then they had 5 droids, R4-D2 included. Also the one that was named after me, R4V9, because Vivien, and then I was 9 years old at the time. And then R2B3, which was the one named after Brad, because his name's Brad Elliott, B, and then E backwards is 3. And then they also had like 2 other ones. I think they had the R5 that was there in at the very beginning, who was with Ned B, that was like loading. And then R2D2 himself.
Whoa.
So they had like all of those, and then R4DT, he like had a little tray and he carried out like a 3-story nothing bundt cake of red velvet, and then they had like a line of Imperial officers who did like a little dance, like
Amazing.
a little happy birthday dance. They also programmed the droids to beep happy birthday, so they would go
That
beep
rules.
beep
Oh my
beep
gosh.
beep
Wow.
beep,
That
and then
rules.
and then they all had like balloons and party hats attached to them and stuff, and then I went home and I enjoyed my cake. And
Did you
it was
film
such a
on
fun
your
day.
birthday?
Yeah, I
Do you
filmed.
remember what you filmed?
I filmed some of this. I
Oh, really?
filmed actually. Yeah, this is the end of the episode.
There he is.
There's there's
he
dead guy
is.
Brad.
Oh yeah, you have red velvet cake all over your face.
No, but it was the stuff where like we're in the little bunker and I'm like looking at all the drawings on the wall, and I come up to Ned B and I'm like, Ned B, this is L0LA59, and call her Lola, and
Yeah.
like that stuff I filmed.
Being nice to droids on your birthday.
Most of the
Smart.
stuff
Yeah.
on my birthday.
Did you-
They didn't have me film too much though.
Did you have a stunt double?
I did actually. So I have 2 stunt doubles who have worked with me on like everything. Their names are Kelly and Molly. Kelly worked with me on Bird Box and We Can Be Heroes, and then she did actually a few like days when Molly couldn't come on Obi-Wan, because Molly was my stunt double on Obi-Wan and on Boogeyman, and then Kelly came in and did a few extra like scenes for Obi-Wan. She did like the falling and stuff, and Kelly was awesome and Molly was awesome, and they were like apparently like friends and they knew each other, and then like I didn't know that Kelly was coming in, and I was like, oh my god, what are you doing here? And she was like, I'm here to stunt double you, and I was like, oh. But yeah, they were super sweet, and they did some of the stuff. I did a lot of my own stunts, but they did some of the stuff, like just some of the extra falling shots that they didn't have to use me for, so they didn't want to. And then like the one where I actually jump and grab the thing. Like I did the hanging, the falling, the floating. Took a lot of core strength, and I also did the like jump, and I did the running and the jump, and then she just actually did the landing on the wire. So like there were some things like that where there was just like an extra insert that they needed that that I didn't need to be there to shoot, and
Sure.
like
They wanted to rat you out.
Yeah,
Is
they
to
wanted
get
to
her
rat
out,
me
bring in the
out,
stunt doubles. Yeah.
or like mom or them were too nervous that I
Sure.
would get hurt, so
Sure,
they didn't
sure,
want to do it. So mom actually stopped me from doing quite a bit of stunts because she
Wow.
was too nervous.
Wow.
I got so mad at her one day.
How dare you.
I got so mad at her one day because I was doing a stunt and I was like, you weren't even watching me. You were on your phone. And she was like, you want me to watch you fall from a building? I can't do that.
It's true.
But she'll watch Flea all day long. So,
Yeah, she'll watch Flea kidnapping.
well, we're wrapping up right now.
Yeah.
Are there any final parting thoughts you want to leave with people?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, actually, one thing. #Justice for Freck. Get it trending on
Get it
X or
trending.
whatever.
Buy the T-shirts.
Yeah, buy the T-shirts.
Ugh.
Make and buy the T-shirts. #Justice for Freck.
Thank you so much for doing this.
He was an Imperial
Sympathizer.
sympathizer.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.
Wow. How will we get out of that mess?
A good episode.
Great.
She's very good in it because she is so much like Carrie, but she's also bringing her own thing to it,
That's right. She's not doing an impression,
which I think is very important.
but she's got the essence of it.
I think prequels and stuff fail the most when the person is trying to do a direct impression of the person,
That's true.
unless it's fantastic.
I feel like you're bad mouthing me for my part in Furiosa because I was doing my Mel Gibson the whole time.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was good.
Yeah,
You kept
I wasn't
saying
even
things-
cast. I just showed up.
You kept saying things that I said he should not be saying.
Well, I
that.
was doing Mel Gibson, not Mad Max.
Yes.
And that was why was I
Confusing.
thinking that? Why was I doing that? That's not good. Who's your favorite other than Vivien, your favorite performer that does a younger version?
I think Joel Edgerton in Kenobi's really good.
Oh, and obviously other than Ewan as well.
Yeah.
Ewan's
Yeah.
kind of made Obi-Wan his own at this point. I like R2-D2 in The Phantom Menace. I don't know who did that.
Yeah.
He was
I
good.
think it was Kenny Baker.
Oh, he's good.
Do you know who's actually really good? Is Josh Brolin doing Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black 3.
Perfect. It was great. Yes. I wanted more. I wanted another one. Why couldn't you bring him into the modern day?
Yeah, I don't know. Or just do another one.
He didn't do it in the 60s. Bring him in the modern day. See how he reacts
You don't think
to cell phones, to Twitter. Can you imagine what he would think about that?
He'd be so confused when he found out that it's called X now. He'd be
Oh,
like,
right.
What do you mean? It's
And you
called X?
and
I
you
just-
know that
I just found
the
out
guy
about-
that owns X, I'm not saying his name on our podcast, would be on the board of Aliens.
That's true.
Oh man,
That's true.
this writes itself.
That's true.
Oh boy, Men in what's it called? Men in Black 4. That's what it's called. Not Men in Black International, which was Men in Black 4.
Yes.
Which Henry loved. We watched all 4, and
Wow.
he's like, that 4th one's good. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
yeah. He likes Thor.
Sure.
Thought Thor was funny in Thor, and now he likes Thor.
Okay.
He's a big Thor guy.
That's great.
Why did they call Men in Black Thor? What movie are we doing right now?
We're doing Kenobi episode 3.
Oh, okay, episode 3. Why
Who-
did they call it
who-
episode 4?
Who do you like as a younger version of another character?
I mean, I went to Ewan, and then I kind of like, of course it's Ewan. I was trying to think of not even Star Wars characters. Who's done it really well? This is an old one, but the kid, and I think it's because Tom Hanks leaned into it. But the young Forrest Gump kid
Sure.
is amazing, and then I think Tom Hanks took his performance. I think it was a reverse.
Hanks's voice is that kid's voice.
Is imitating the
Yes.
kids. Is that his real voice?
Yeah.
Can we get that kid?
He was on Dead Eyes.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
Oh, that's great.
Connor Ratliff, who I do the George Lucas Talk Show with, has a podcast called Dead Eyes about when he was fired from Band of Brothers
By Tom Hanks.
By Tom Hanks. And he did an episode where he talked to all of the young Tom Hankses.
That's great.
So it's the kid from Forrest Gump. Elijah Wood plays young Tom Hanks in something.
Wow.
And the kid from Big.
Oh, yeah, that kid's
Yeah.
great. Okay.
It's a really fun episode. People should go
Right.
listen to it.
That seems like a fun movie to do where Connor's got to babysit all the young Tom Hanks. What would
Yeah.
you call it?
Hanks for the Memories. That's what they should have called Here.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. That's a really good point. Oh, you know what? Also, the young Boba Fett kid was good too.
Daniel Logan?
I like that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. He was
Also
good.
in Camino Caper with Vivien,
That's right.
the live read of Attack of the Clones
Wow,
we did.
you're good. You're like, you got like Muppet Babies, but for Star Wars on your Camino Capers.
I do think the Muppet Babies were also very good as younger versions of the Muppets.
They were. You know what though?
That kid they hired for Baby Kermit.
No.
is, like,
Let's.
really
in
good.
all seriousness,
He looks
Matt,
just
Matt
like him.
Danner is the voice of Baby Kermit in the new one, and he's a really good Kermit.
I was going under the
No, that they're
assumption.
actors hired. I know, very funny, but I'm talking real.
Howie Mandel.
Harry Mandel was animal.
You almost beat me to it.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know. Prequels are fun sometimes. They're hard. They're hard to do, but they're fun.
They paid for my house, so I like prequels.
That's true.
Very much.
What is a prequel you would want to do?
Oh boy, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer.
There's a Gremlins prequel right now that's good.
Oh, it's so good.
The
that
animated
cartoon
show,
is
the
great.
Brendan Hayes animated show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you watched it to the end?
I haven't watched to the end. No,
Oh, it's
I've
so
seen
good.
a lot of it though.
It's very well done. I don't know what prequels are good. I think you probably disagree with this. I thought Furiosa this year was great.
That's not what the question I asked though.
It was a prequel.
Yeah, I said, what prequel would you want to do?
I'm tired. I like these prequels. I would do Furiosa.
Okay, great.
What prequel would I like to do? I'd like to do Muppets, a different, like how they met again. I just want to do Muppets. I will find any way to answer a question, the answer to be Muppets. I just want to work on the Muppets.
Yeah,
Why can't that
we
happen?
gotta make that happen.
It's not. I mean, I've come so close 80 times.
I know. That's the goal of this podcast. There's 2 goals to this podcast.
Yeah.
One is next week's guest.
Oh, can't we finally got him, Cameron Crowe. He says something so enlightening within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It changed how I look at things.
In general.
And the other thing is I want to work with the Muppets.
Yeah.
And then the third wish is Cameron Crowe directs my Muppet script.
Cameron Crowe Muppet movie is interesting.
Fast Times at Muppet Theater. Aloha, Gonzo.
I wonder if they ever considered hiring like a
Fozzie McGuire.
talking about I guess James Bobin is like the closest to a man who has made
Movies
you
that
know,
aren't.
movies that aren't like
Right.
kids movies or puppet movies or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, Frank Oz went on to.
I guess so, but
make,
he didn't start that way though.
Well, Frank Oz.
He started with the Muppets,
right. No, I'm
is what
saying, but he went on to make very mature
Of course.
movies. But I'm not done doing Cameron Crowe Muppet movies.
Sure, keep going.
I guess I'm done. Sorry. Singles, but with Electric Mayhem.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a title there.
What would Aloha be?
I said it. Aloha, Gonzo. Isn't that what I said?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, I just want to work with the Muppets is the point of this commentary.
It's the whole point
We
of this
did a
podcast.
commentary about Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, hire me for Muppets.
I think that's the perfect way to wrap this episode up, though.
Oh, that's great.
It's so everyone
if we
knows.
learn anything, it's that I should write for the Muppets. But Patrick should also work on the Muppets.
I would
I'm
love
not
to.
the only one.
It's the dream. It's the
I'm
it's-
done once I do that.
I think it's doable. Maybe more so for me than for you at
Hey,
this point.
what?
I mean,
What are you talking about? First of all, I'd be the best Muppet writer that ever wrote. No, that's not true. Jerry Juhl's pretty great.
he's pretty good.
I'd be pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I would hold my own.
I think so.
You know what? When I sold my Muppet script, they gave me a copy of the cheapest Muppet movie ever made, the
Yeah.
script. And I have it. And I read it on the plane on the way home. And it was so funny. I emailed them as soon as I got home and said, you should just make this. After selling them my script.
I didn't know you had it.
Yeah, I have it. I have a printout of it. And it's got a cover drawn by them, like so as a movie poster.
Great. I can't wait to read it.
No, you can't. I'm not allowed to show it to anyone. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Patrick Ottner and Brian Lynch. You can find out more about the show at heythat'smepod.com or on social media at heythat'smepod. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary, where you can find out about guests early, submit questions for us to ask on the show, or even do a commentary to your own favorite movie with me. Our music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. Special thanks to Annalise Nelson and Mark David Christensen. Be sure to leave us a review on iTunes or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.